n8n has released community nodes, and it's going to make your life so much easier while using the software. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I mean here. So if you see this like Twitter verification badge kind of emoji here, at least that's what I think it is, or what it looks like to me, these are all community nodes. So we can actually go down the list and we see that there's quite a few community nodes being added into n8n. And so essentially what these are they are essentially more or less other extensions that have been published by the creators of that software. And I think that this is going to be game changing because even though there's not too many right now, there's going to be an abundance of these community nodes that are going to be added in the future. And there's even more options when it comes to self-hosting too, which we're going to get into later on in this video. Before we kind of break down how to set these up, and it's only going to take a couple minutes in order for us to do this, I just want to kind of go over the why, like why you should care, why this is a big deal. And so if we go to n8n.io/integrations here, one of the biggest pain points that I have personally, and I'm sure you guys probably do as well, is that they only have about 1,500 or 1,054 integrations, which isn't all that much when you consider things like literally Pinterest, which is a app that is used by hundreds of millions of people, isn't even freaking here, right? You'd think that basic stuff like that is accessible, but it's not. And so a lot of the stuff that you're probably would like to access, you just can't. And so with these community nodes, it's going to allow other software developers to build their own nodes out, which means that we're going to have access to just so many more applications. And it's giving people the ability that are third-party developers to build out their own integrations into the self-hosted version, which we're going to be talking about later, giving us access to so many other tools. So for instance, some of the most common ones that I use are like Appify, for example. This is a web scraper and now it's available. Or 11 Labs, which is AI voice, which is now available. Or Instantly, which is cold email outreach, which was not available before, is now available through these community nodes. And so I think this is really cool. Let's get into setting this up right now. First, we're going to start with the cloud-based version. If you guys are on like the actual cloud-based, and then we'll go into the self-hosted version. And so essentially, in a nutshell, we're going to go down to the admin panel at the bottom left here. And once inside, we just need to go to manage our account, and we need to make sure that we've upgraded our n8n version to one of the later versions here. So 1.95 or 1.97 is good. And specifically, we need to turn on this verified community nodes. And as soon as this is checked on, we are officially good to go. And so we can just circle back here. We'll take a couple minutes to update your account. And inside n8n, we can go ahead and add in these. You'll have access to these community nodes like AI Scraper or whatever. And so 11 Labs is one of these. We could go forward, and all we have to do with these once we, find the one we're looking for, so we just need to click install node here, and then we will install it, and then we can use all of this functionality down here. It's going to be available as soon as this is installed. Perfect. So we're good to go. Now we can just leverage all of this kind of stuff. And so it's really as simple as that when it comes to the cloud-based version. Now, on the self-hosting version, and I'll link a video above on how you can self-host, and I highly recommend you self-hosting n8n if you take it seriously, just because if you don't, you're limited in the amount of workflows that you can actually do per month, which is 5 on this basic plan or 15, but in most cases you'll probably go more than this, and 2.5 workflow executions, which seems like a lot. That means you can run 2,500 scenarios, but it's really not all that much at the end of the day. And so you'll probably, for most instances, you'll probably end up going above that. And so if you don't want to be limited to that, then you'll want to self-host. And again, I'll link a video up top or in the description on how you can get started walking through that step by step. And once you're inside, you will need to make sure you're on the latest version. That update will be different depending on the software you're on. In the video I link, it'll include that in there. But in a nutshell, once we go into the self-hosted version and we go down to the settings by hitting these 3 dots down here, we'll have access to the community nodes as long as we're on the latest version. And we can click this install button here, and we can enter in an npm package name. Now, in order for us to find these, we'll click browse here. npm stands for Node Package Manager. This is like essentially how you, like as a coder, could go about installing dependencies into software applications so that you can like use open source code, right? So that you can essentially have somebody else build it, and all you have to do is just use what they've built and build and integrate that into your application. So there's a lot of cool things here that we can do. So you've probably seen a lot of videos on MCP. That's an option here. Appify, again, this is for web scraping. That's available, and we could go ahead and download that. We could download DeepSeek. We could download lots of these. We can see the amount of people downloading some of these. So obviously there's some that are super popular, others that are less popular. But yeah, there's just a lot of different options here, and there's like 50 pages. The cool thing is again, these are going to be built out over time. There's only going to be more options that roll out in the future too. So I think this is a great place to start if you're looking to use integrations that are not available inside n8n. And so let's just take, for example, Perplexity here. We can just go to this. We could click in this, and we can just copy this. Okay, so we'll hit the copy button right here. And once we do that, we can go back into n8n, and we can literally just insert the name in here. It's going to delete the npm I. This stands for, again, Node Package Manager, and the I stands for install. So we're installing a package, which is this, which is a dependency that we can use now to like leverage Perplexity within our self-hosted version of n8n. And so this is just going to take a couple seconds. It's going to install, and then we can use this third-party package from within our self-hosted version of n8n. And so we can see all of the different packages that we've downloaded here. We go back to the settings. We could now type in Perplexity, and now this is installed into our account, and we could create a chat completion and use it. So I think that is freaking awesome. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before wrapping this up is if you're struggling to find the right integration, and let's say that you're trying to find it in the apps here, you're also trying to find it in these community nodes, you can't find it. The good thing is like all of these, let me just go back to the integrations page here. All of these apps, Google Sheets, Telegram, Slack, Discord, Gmail, Airtable, all of these are technically an HTTP request. The distinction between this HTTP request and all of these other applications is just that with these other applications, either the n8n team or a third-party developer has gone in and done the heavy lifting for you. They've actually set up the integration, right? The difference with the HTTP request is that you have to set it up on your own, right? So you're like the air quotes developer here that has to do all the boilerplate to set this up. And usually that boilerplate is like the method, the URL, the authentication, all of that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about this is that you have this import curl section here, and you can literally just copy and paste this in. So if I went to Appify API documentation, for example, here, they have lots of different stuff. This is not a video on HTTP requests, but I just wanted to quickly show this. We have this curl section here. And so this is like an example of what this would look like. We could literally just pop this in. So copy this by hitting that copy button and then paste in this curl. And this is going to import in, and it's going to add in all of the stuff here for you already. So in a nutshell, you could just do HTTP requests, but these community nodes are going to be developed by other people so that you don't have to go through the process of developing this stuff out, because sometimes this can be tedious, pretty difficult, and it can take just a lot of freaking time that you otherwise could spend doing higher leverage activities that actually make you money or save you time. And so that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you found value in this video, and take a look at the community nodes. Hopefully down the road, there's even more added, and you can just leverage those instead of having to spend the time doing it yourself. If you guys are interested in learning more about AI automation, I highly recommend taking a look at my school community here, where we help people accomplish mainly two things. The first thing is we help people automate up to 80% of their business. That's what I do with my past business. And essentially I just give people the exact blueprints and assets and everything that I use to automate it myself pretty much out of a job. And then the second group of people is for those looking to start an AI automation agency. And I give you the exact roadmap that I've used so that you can get to your goal in the shortest time frame possible. Thanks guys for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.